So just getting out of the shower, I ended up scrolling on TikTok, and I realized that people are posting about like feeling your feelings, and everybody says that, but nobody actually explains it. So emotional resilience muscle capacity training is my attempt at helping people feel their feelings by giving you an actual process to go through, because there's different key phrases that people talk about, but nobody actually wraps them together in a full process. Like, have you heard of holding space for yourself and others? Have you heard of validating, feeling the body sensations? But I think there's some key things that over time, with the combination of my experience in fitness and then my experience with the emotional world, the first step that you have to do before you can feel your feelings is acceptance. You have to, in the moment, accept that you are feeling a feeling. And let's say a coworker or your husband, boyfriend, partner, whoever, you got angry. So the other day I was texting a friend, and all of a sudden I realized I was pissed. And it came out of nowhere. I didn't understand fully why I was mad. But like in that moment, I need to accept that I'm mad and then enter the process if I have the capacity and the time to do so, right? So the first thing is acceptance. If your toddler is screaming and mad, even though you think they shouldn't be mad about a certain thing that happened, it doesn't matter, because if you're just simply in acceptance of it is what it is in that moment, they're angry. So acceptance is first. Then validation. Be like, oh, I see that you're mad. It makes sense why you're mad. You just dropped your cookie on the floor. Or I'm not sure why you're mad, but I see that you're mad. Can you tell me more about that? You're validating the moment, whether you do it to yourself, whether you do it to your partner, whether you do it to a coworker or or your child. Doesn't matter. So acceptance, validation. Then you have to label permission and boundaries. That's where you're allowed to be mad, and you can't take it out on other people. You can't hurt other people. You can't call me names. You can't call yourself names. You can't create a story around this. Meaning, like, if my coworker said something that made me mad, I can't create the story that now they are upset at me and they hate me and I'm the worst person ever. Like, we're not going to do all that. We are going to simply state you're allowed to be angry in this moment and get curious, and you are not going to create a story. You are mad. Point blank, period, right? For a toddler throwing a tantrum, you're allowed to be mad, but you cannot hit mommy. You cannot, call mommy names. You cannot throw things. Permission, boundaries. The feeling with a boundary, okay? Then sensations. Where is this? Where do you feel this? If you are doing it with yourself, I was feeling tightness in my chest. I was feeling my face get hot. I was feeling my hands clench. Any of those above things, where are your sensations? And then lean into that sensation. Now, if you're doing this with a child, ask them where their feeling is. What does it feel like? What color is it? What sensations? Tickly, prickly, whatever words they have or don't have, depending on the age. With yourself, pay attention and lean into that sensation. It will peak when you lean in and you give it breathing room and you feel it and you allow it to move or stay or whatever the case may be. It will peak, and as it peaks, it then will dissipate. If you run away from the sensation, you will not be able to move that energy. So as a child who's angry, would you like to throw ice? Would you like to push the wall? Would you like to twist a towel? What is something that you can do to move that energy? Now, as an adult, sometimes that means I'm going to take a walk and I'm going to feel the sensation and my breathing and wherever that goes, right? The sensation will escalate, peak, and then will slowly dissipate. During the time of sensation, for both yourself and for the other, you have to hold the space while the sensation is happening. Tears, crying, whatever the case may be. You are holding the space around them. I like to call it a magic love bubble. I envision myself blowing a magic love bubble around the person. Another favorite analogy is, oh my goodness, what is her name? From The Incredibles, the mom, Elastigirl, when she becomes the parachute and she holds her kids and she makes herself thin like the parachute and creates that like space around them. So can you imagine yourself becoming like Elastigirl and holding space for your child or for a partner to kind of like dump whatever emotions that they have in that space, not on you, but in that space in front of you that you've created because you became Elastigirl? Or if they are in a magic love bubble, you're blowing that bubble around them. Whatever is happening for them is staying in that bubble. You do not take it on. You are holding space for them, but you are not taking it on as your own. So they're feeling the sensations, or you're feeling the sensations, and you are creating holding space for both yourself or the other person. That happens in step 4. Now, it's going to peak and then it comes down. And as it comes down, it dissipates. And then you need a soft place to land. You are not at homeostasis. You are not at recovery. You are not all the way calm. But if you've ever had a kid have a meltdown, they'll get to the point where they have that like shaky breath. I'm not doing it exactly, but you know what I'm talking about. So it comes down to this where you feel the anger recede, you felt the feelings and the sensations, witnessing whoever, they have fully expressed it in a safe way. It is coming down. They are not done, but you become a safe place to land. This might be a hug. It's my favorite way to do this, right? A child climbs on your lap, you hold them. They are breathing, you are breathing. You are helping them breathe. Every breath, they are going to mimic, and you don't have to say anything in this moment. You are just simply a safe place to land. They had all this activation happening through them. If you are doing this by yourself, this might look like wrapping yourself in a blanket, crawling in bed, giving yourself a hug, asking for a hug. Any of those things, you need a soft place to land. And then once you've had a soft place to land, you're going to come all the way down. And when you're back at homeostasis, the last part, the most important part, is connect and repair. Now, this cannot be done in that moment. It cannot even be done at the safe place to land. You need to come all the way out of it. All that sensation comes out of your body, and you have gone back to normal. Your brain has come back online. You're able to talk and think and speak. So the connect and repair is like the rest and recovery. It doesn't happen during a workout. It happens post-workout. So that post-workout is a matter of making sure you are taking a break, you're resting, you're hydrating, you're eating, you're doing the things that you need to do to reset so you can handle another workout. Reconnect and repair is now having that conversation with that other person about what you would do differently next time. Or if it's something that you happen within yourself, you now have to figure out what I was feeling underneath that anger, what the emotion was telling me, where I was with the emotion, what messages did it come to give me. And when I have that, I can now approach my partner, coworker, and I can now repair based on whatever conversation or whatever emotions I had, whatever the experience was. I can reconnect, right? Like, my child, I love you very much. Next time, this is what we can do different. Next time, what do you think you can do different? Build the awareness around not only the emotion, but what caused it. And then you have an ability to connect and repair not only with yourself, but with others. So, acceptance, validation, permission and boundaries, sensation and holding space, safe place to land, reconnect and repair. Got it? So, I'm working on putting together a course, and so that we can start talking about all those pieces, and all those pieces are a skill set. Each thing is a skill set. Everybody has talked about those individually, but when you wrap them all together, it creates a complete picture. Hope this helped. Okay, love you. Bye.